Imagine it is today. Picture the world around you, the hustle and bustle of daily life. Right now, life feels normal, routine, safe. The sun rises, people sip coffee at cafes, children head to school. There's a sense of security, a belief in the continuity of things. We go about our days, planning for the future, unaware of the precipice we stand upon. But deep underground and beneath the seas, a terrible power waits, a force of unimaginable destruction, lurking in the shadows, ready to be unleashed. Nuclear weapons, humanity's ultimate deterrent, a promise of mutually assured destruction that has, for decades, kept the peace. Or so we hope. What if the deterrent fails? What if the unthinkable happens, and the delicate balance of power collapses? In secret command centers, silent orders are given, decisions made that will determine the fate of billions. The weight of the world rests on the shoulders of a few. Keys turn. The process begins, a chain reaction of events set in motion. Buttons are pressed, sealing our fate. There's no turning back now. Steel doors groan open, revealing the monstrous power within. Missiles rise, engines roaring, tearing through the atmosphere, leaving trails of smoke, a dark omen in the sky. Submarines launch their own deadly cargo, hidden beneath the waves, adding to the impending doom. A man-made meteor shower aimed at our cities, a rain of fire and destruction. On the ground, people are unaware, oblivious to the horror that is about to unfold. Life continues for a few more precious minutes, moments of joy and laughter soon to be extinguished. The missiles travel at incredible speed, faster than anything humanity has ever created. Each programmed for a city, a base, a vital piece of infrastructure, a place filled with people, with dreams, with lives about to be erased. Radar screens light up, painting a grim picture of what's to come, with swarms of red dots, unstoppable, unavoidable. Sirens wail, a desperate cry in the face of annihilation. Panic erupts as the realization dawns that the end is near. People scramble for shelter, a futile attempt to escape the inevitable. But there is no real escape, no place to hide from the coming storm. The missiles begin their final descent, hurtling towards their targets. Glowing streaks of fire, painting the sky with death. The world holds its breath, waiting for the end. The end is not coming, it's not a distant threat. It is already here in the air, above us, unavoidable. In moments, the world as we know it will be unmade, reduced to ash and ruin. The countdown is silent, but absolute, ticking away the last seconds of civilization. Civilization stands on the brink, with no turning back, poised to plunge into the abyss. The unthinkable has happened. The first warhead detonates high above a major city, its invisible tendrils of energy reaching down to initiate unimaginable destruction. It births an artificial sun, a searing, blinding light that eclipses even the midday sun. The intensity is beyond comprehension. In a fraction of a second, everything flammable within a considerable radius spontaneously ignites. Fabrics, wood, paper, all consumed in an instant inferno. The city is instantly set ablaze, a raging inferno consuming everything in its path, painting the sky with an apocalyptic orange glow. The blast wave, a wall of compressed air traveling faster than the speed of sound, follows with terrifying speed, flattening buildings like houses of cards, hurling debris with lethal force. It pulverizes everything in its path, reducing concrete and steel to dust, leaving nothing but utter devastation in its wake. At ground zero, the epicenter of the blast, death is instantaneous. There is no suffering, only oblivion. Bodies are vaporized in the blink of an eye, leaving only ghostly shadows burned into walls, silent testaments to lives extinguished. Further out from the epicenter, the effects are no less horrific. People are thrown through the air like rag dolls, lacerated by flying glass and debris. Many are crushed beneath collapsing structures, buried alive under tons of concrete and steel, their screams lost in the chaos. The sound, the final messenger of destruction, arrives last, a moment after the light and the blast. It's a deafening roar, a thunderous explosion that tears through the air, the death cry of a city, a sound that will haunt the survivors forever. In 30 seconds, a thriving metropolis, a symbol of human achievement, is reduced to a smoldering, radioactive ruin, a testament to our destructive potential. And this is just one city, one single point of devastation in a much larger, more terrifying picture. The same horrifying destruction unfolds simultaneously in hundreds of cities across the globe, a coordinated attack that leaves no corner of the world untouched. New York, a beacon of hope and progress, now a smoldering crater. Moscow, a city steeped in history and culture, reduced to ashes. Beijing, a vibrant metropolis, silenced forever. Tokyo, a technological marvel, now a ghost town. Hundreds, maybe thousands of warheads rain down upon the earth, each one carrying the power to obliterate entire cities and leave lasting scars on the planet. The death toll soars into the hundreds of millions, a staggering loss of human life that defies comprehension, a wound that will never fully heal. No emergency services can respond, no governments remain to offer aid, no hope for rescue or recovery. Only chaos and despair reign supreme. Only fire, a raging, all-consuming inferno that sweeps across the landscape, devouring everything in its path. Rubble, the shattered remains of a once proud civilization, a monument to our folly. And silence, a profound and unsettling silence, broken only by the crackling of flames, a silence that speaks volumes about the devastation that has occurred. Civilization, as we know it, is erased in a matter of minutes, leaving behind a wasteland of shattered dreams and broken promises. The world is irrevocably changed forever, scarred by the horrors of nuclear war, a constant reminder of the fragility of human existence. The mushroom cloud rises with terrifying speed, a monument to destruction, carrying radioactive particles, the insidious seeds of fallout high into the sky. These particles, unseen and unfelt at first, are the harbingers of a silent apocalypse. This fallout drifts on the wind, a ghostly shroud carried by the currents, settling as invisible poison over vast areas. It blankets the land, a silent killer descending upon everything below. Survivors emerge into a gray world, blinking against the muted light, unaware of the danger that clings to every surface, blanketed in radioactive ash. Buildings, trees, everything is coated in this deadly dust. The dust contaminates skin, seeping into pores, a constant source of irradiation. Lungs, each breath a gamble with invisible toxins, water, and food. The very necessities of life become vectors of death, lethal doses of gamma radiation. The Geiger counter screams a warning, but for many it's already too late. Acute radiation sickness sets in, the body begins to betray itself. Nausea, vomiting, the first signs of cellular breakdown, hair loss, bleeding, the body's defenses crumbling under the assault, and death. A grim reaper that is unseen, unheard, but devastatingly effective. There is no cure, no doctors, the infrastructure of healing has vanished, only a slow, painful end, a descent into oblivion, marked by suffering and despair. Fallout spreads far beyond the blast zones, carried by winds and rain, poisoning farmland, rendering it barren and lifeless for generations, rivers, and entire ecosystems. The delicate balance of nature shattered by radioactive contamination. Even untouched regions become death zones. The specter of radiation looms over every community. Anyone eating or drinking from contaminated sources is doomed. A silent sentence passed without trial. The planet itself is poisoned on a global scale. A wound inflicted upon the Earth that may never fully heal. Survivors of the blasts are joined by millions more, all victims of a war that continues long after the bombs have fallen, dying from an invisible enemy. A foe that cannot be fought with weapons, only succumbed to. The air, water, and earth are all tainted. The very elements of life turned against those who remain. The legacy of the bombs is a world unfit for life, a testament to humanity's capacity for self-destruction. The invisible killer spares no one. It is the ultimate equalizer, a force of nature unleashed by human hands. In every ruined city, thousands of fires merge into raging firestorms. These infernos create hurricane-force winds, sucking in air and feeding the flames. Temperatures soar, melting metal and glass, suffocating anyone trapped inside. Firestorms can rage for days, consuming everything in their path. Millions of tons of black, oily smoke are pumped into the atmosphere. The smoke rises into the stratosphere beyond the reach of rain. A dark veil begins to wrap the planet, blocking sunlight. The sun dims, and a new catastrophe looms. The world is plunged into darkness. The sun weakens, the sky turns to twilight. Soot from burning cities blocks sunlight, triggering nuclear winter. Temperatures plummet, summer turns to freezing cold in weeks. Crops die, forests fail, photosynthesis halts. No food can grow. Water sources freeze. Rainfall becomes rare and toxic. Clean water is precious. Warmth is scarce. People burn anything for heat, further polluting the air. Survival becomes a battle against relentless cold and hunger. The new ice age arrives suddenly, collapsing the environment in days. The world is locked in a long, dark, and deadly winter. Life struggles to endure. Civilization collapses overnight. The global economy, governments, and infrastructure are obliterated. Money is worthless, food is gold, authority vanishes, replaced by chaos and violence. The electrical grid is gone. No power, no communication, no water. Roads, bridges, and airports are destroyed. Supply chains are broken. Society reverts to brutal tribalism. Trust disappears. Survival depends on violence and suspicion. Communities shrink, fortified against outsiders. The skills and resources for pre-industrial life are lost. Lawlessness is as deadly as the bombs. The world built over millennia is undone in weeks. The survivors face a world ruled by fear and necessity. Civilization as we knew it is gone. Silence replaces the hum of civilization. Birds and insects vanish, their songs silenced by cold and radiation. Herbivores starve, predators follow, oceans become lifeless deserts. The ecosystem collapses, one species at a time. The air is toxic, filled with chemicals and radiation. The ozone layer is destroyed, exposing survivors to deadly UV rays. Black rain falls, poisoning the land. Headlines would read, "Mass extinction underway, 90% dead." These are not fantasies, but scientific predictions. The world is now a graveyard haunted by memories of life. An alien, hostile planet remains. The silence is absolute. For survivors, starvation is the new reality. Food is scavenged from ruins. Canned goods, grains, anything edible. Supplies dwindle. Violence erupts over scraps. Hunting is futile. Wildlife is scarce and contaminated. Attempts at underground farming are hampered by lack of fuel and knowledge. Some resort to cannibalism as hunger overwhelms morality. Disease and malnutrition claim many more lives. Psychological trauma is rampant. Hope fades. Birth rates plummet. Infant mortality soars. Humanity's light flickers on the verge of extinction. Would a nuclear war end the world? The Earth would survive, but our civilization would not. After decades, the sun would return, and radiation would fade. Life might slowly reclaim the land, but humanity's future is uncertain. A tiny fraction might survive in remote regions, thrown back to a primitive existence. Most knowledge and technology would be lost, a complete reset. Survivors would face radiation, a ruined ecosystem, and genetic bottlenecks. Humanity could die out, leaving only traces in the fossil record. The tragedy is its finality and pointlessness, a war no one can win. The power to destroy remains in our hands. The choice to avoid this fate is ours every day. The final chapter depends on our wisdom and restraint.